All right. I am live. This is actually my first live stream on YouTube, so bear with me. I'm not quite sure if it works the same way as I've done other live streams like on Facebook, or there was another one on Zoom and things like that. So, anyway, this is Jim, the tabletop engineer. Some of you may know me personally, some of you may know me through the channel and the video games I play. But wanted to just give you guys an update on where the channel sits. It's all good news, nothing bad. Go ahead and get that out of the way. And then I wanted to update you on some of the things I'm working on and some of the things I'm going to be doing on the channel. I'm going to give you an update on feedback. You guys have given me a lot of feedback, a lot of comments, emails. Some of you have talked to me personally at conventions, or just those of you who know me personally here in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta. So this is sort of, it's not really scripted. I do have a list of the things I want to talk about. So let's go ahead and get started. First off, uh, where, where have I been? It's been a couple weeks, not quite a couple weeks since I posted anything. I wanted to give you an update. So those of you who follow my channel and have watched some of my videos over the last 3 or 4 weeks, you know that I've been dealing with allergies really bad here in Atlanta. It's never been this bad. When I lived in Florida and Texas, never had allergies. Moved to Georgia, whammo, within like a month of living here. And I moved here during pollen season. I got married in March and moved here in March. And the minute I hit Atlanta, it just hit me like a freight train. Allergies are really bad in this state. So if you're ever going to be moving to Georgia or considering it, do some research. It is horrible, especially like in March and April timeframe, which is just what we went through. But anyway, I've dealt with this for the what 20 years almost that I've lived in Atlanta. Every year it just gets me and gets me. But this year it was really bad, and the coughing got so bad. I mean, so violently bad coughing that I gave myself a hernia. That's probably more information than you need to know. But for those of you who had a hernia, you know what I'm talking about. If you've never had one, not fun. It's basically you cough so much, or you sometimes you get it when you exercise or lift weights and things like that. But basically, it's just tearing a muscle in your abdomen, chest area. It can happen above the belly button. It can happen below the belly button, and it seems to happen a lot with men. I don't hear so much. I don't hear women complaining about hernias a lot, although I've been told they can get them. But basically, it's where muscles can tear or pull, and some of your intestines, sorry to be gross, can push through, or some of your internal organs can push through. And you got to get it fixed. Sometimes it's minor, but it can become worse over time. I knew the minute I got one. I felt the burn. I'd had one before on the right side. Well, now I had one on the left side. And so the coughing got so violent that I gave myself a hernia. So I went to the doctor about 3 weeks ago, and he confirmed hernia, got to get it fixed. And so a week and a half ago, I had to go in for surgery. Before the surgery, it got progressively worse to where what was funny was from the day it was diagnosed to the day I had surgery was 3 weeks. I called them, I begged them, I emailed them all the time. Can we bump it up? Can we bump it up? But you know, surgeries. He told me, he's like, Jim, I've got these things scheduled and I'm doing my best. He's a good doctor. And I didn't want to go elsewhere. I didn't want to go to the emergency room. Didn't want to do that. So I wanted to have a specialist. So had it done. By the time surgery rolled around, I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't do videos. I couldn't hardly work. I could walk and normal day-to-day things, but it gets to you. You're mentally just all you feel is just pain, and it's a dull, aching pain. And anyway, long story short, I had to get it done, got it done. That was another almost week and a half of recovery. You're not allowed to lift like anything over 10 pounds, 20 pounds max. You're not supposed to be doing any strenuous exercise. You're just supposed to sort of chill and rest, which is what I did. Um, but it basically meant no game playing, no videos, no crafting, no nothing. Now, the crafting part I kind of got around, because if you look back there, right there, that's a 3D printer. I put my 3D printer to work while I was recuperating. I figure if I can't craft, I'm going to 3D print. And so I have been 3D printing tiles of all these are painted, by the way. These were, some of you may have seen me post something about these 4x4s. This is a 2x6. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 2x6. Different patterns, and I've painted them with different color schemes. What am I going to be using these for? Well, that's the cool part. So for the longest time now, I have been using foam tiles, which, if you have been following me for a long, long time, you know I used to do a lot of crafting, and I want to get back to it. But crafting is, I kind of made what I needed. But foam has always aggravated me because it's lightweight, which means when you put foam tiles on the table, this is heavier. When you put foam tables on the table, if your finger hits one, anything sitting on it gets knocked over because the tile moves, and any tiles that are next to it, they get bumped. And so for a long, long time, I've wanted to sort of get away from my tile terrain and get to more to 3D printed terrain. And I have a lot of 3D files that I've saved up over the year. I'm like, oh, I like those. I would buy them or download them and put them in a folder for when I start 3D printing tiles. And I started doing it just recently. So, yeah, I've got a lot of 3D tiles ready to go. Why did I do this? Well, this is the first thing I want to talk about. So I love this game called Frostgrave, and I have been wanting to do custom scenarios for Frostgrave for a really long time. A lot of people like the ones that I create. They ask for more. They download them. I can track it. I see how many people are downloading it. And so it occurred to me that it'd be really fun to create my own custom campaign. It might be 10 scenarios, it might be 20, but it's going to be somewhere between 10 and 20. And then I'll probably do another one. The campaign has a theme. This one is called Beneath the Ice. And basically, it occurred to me that there has to be this whole catacombs and ruins that are beneath the frozen city of Felstad. And so that's where I am going to set my scenarios. And there's a whole backstory, and there are additional rules. Like, for instance, regular Frostgrave takes place on a 3x3. Mine will take place on a 2x2, and actually not even 2x2. It's going to use tiles to define the the area that you can move around on. There's also a limitation. A normal warband is 10 members, a soldier, I'm sorry, an apprentice, a wizard, and 8 soldiers. I am limiting, in my scenarios, you're limited to a wizard, an apprentice, and 4 soldiers. Those 4 soldiers, a maximum of 2 of them can be specialists. Any number of them can be standard soldiers. So if you are interested in playing my custom Frostgrave scenario, in the link in the video description below, I will include a link where you can go get the document that describes the basic setup, the terrain you'll need. You don't have to have 3D printed terrain. You can have foam terrain. You could have paper terrain. You could use a whiteboard. It doesn't, or a dry erase board. It doesn't matter. Once the scenarios start, you'll understand that you can use whatever you have available to define the play area. It will be sort of sequential or like episodic. There will be times when you can play them out of order, or you can play them out of order if you just want to play them. But there is a story being told. So check the video description below if you are interested in downloading my new Frostgrave campaign. It's going to start in a week with episode 1 or episode 0. I always get confused about which one I should number it, but it will be there, and you can download the basic description. It's going to play out. It will give you a description of all the terrain sizes you will need, which is not a lot. It's a very short list. And then we'll get started. And every week or every other week, depending on how fast I can do them, I will be releasing the next part, which you can download. You'll be able to watch me play the scenario, but then you can also play it first and then come back and watch me play it, however you want to do it. But I've been really wanting to do that, and the 3D printed tile kind of jump started me on that. And I'm not going to claim ownership of this idea. I got this idea from a game that I play called Relic Blade. Sean Sutter, this is Relic Blade right here. Relic is this skirmish war game. You can play it competitively, but you can also play it solo now because Sean released this expansion called the Catacombs of Corral, and it has the rules for playing a solo scenario. His solo scenario in here is 6 scenarios plus a prelude or prologue episode, so 7 in all. But the way he created his campaign gave me the idea for the Frostgrave scenarios, which I'm going to be doing. So I give a huge shout out to Sean and Relic Blade for giving me the idea or the inspiration for doing it. It's not going to run exactly like the Relic Blade solo scenarios. There are some differences because it's Frostgrave and the rules are different and the setting is different. But the basic idea is that they will be these small standalone scenarios that you can play very quickly, usually like 20 to 30 minutes. And then when you move off the board, you move into another area and so on and so on. So we'll get there, and I'm hoping people like it. If not, I'm currently on the second scenario, recording the video. Sorry, I recorded the video today, haven't edited the video. So I'm a couple weeks ahead, so I should be able to space these out and give them to you on a regular basis. All right, what else do I want to share with you? Okay. I have heard you. People have said, look, we want to see Frostgrave, Stargrave. They want to see war games. They don't care so much for the board games that I sometimes play. I play everything. I play card games, board games, RPGs. If it's a game, I play it, but I get it. A lot of you come to my channel because you want to watch my war games, specifically Stargrave, Grave, Relic Blade, hopefully. There are some others I play. One of them that somebody did ask me recently if I'm going to continue on is the Dungeon Saga, which is this one right here. Yes, Dungeon Saga will continue. I love the game. It's a mix of board game and war game. I think I've got the first 2 episodes out in the new system, the Dungeon Saga Origins. But this surgery and the recovery knocked me out. I haven't been able to do much. I couldn't stand for a while. It hurt. And sitting after a while gets uncomfortable. So that's why I just sort of took a break. But yes, those of you who are wanting me to continue Dungeon Saga Origins campaign, episode 3 is coming up very soon. And it will continue. So answer that question. Others of you asked about some of the older games I played that I never really got a deep footing on, and I never continued, but I want to, and I know you want to because I'm getting a lot of requests for it. There are 3 in particular. And so when I was thinking about these 3, and I'll tell you what they are in just a second. When I was thinking about these 3, these are the 3 that have been asked about the most. And so I want to play all 3 of them, but I was trying to figure out how could I play all 3 and keep the interest there for me and for the viewer. So let me tell you what the 3 games are. One of them is called 2D6 Dungeon. If you have been wanting me to continue this or get back to this, yes, I agree. The other one is called D100 Dungeon. Yes, I am coming back to D100 Dungeon. Very cool game. There's a third one that I have since discovered that just grabbed me and I want to play it. So I'm going to add Caer Nathalis. I had this in PDF, but I went ahead and broke down and got the book because the PDF was just too hard to flip pages. It's easier to mark up these pages and write and use sticky notes, things like that. So these 3 are solo fantasy RPGs in the sense they're not really RPGs, but they kind of are because you're telling a story. It's a procedurally generated dungeon that you're moving through. There are encounters. You level up. There's XP. There's magic items. There's gold, treasure, all that stuff. So if you are not familiar with these, you're with them because I have finally kind of got a format for how I want to play these, how I want to video them and present them to you rather than me just sitting there narrating and going, okay, I'll roll this. I want that story element portion, and I think I've got it figured out. I've got a couple test plays that I recorded and edited the videos, and they worked out. I think they're good enough that I think they will grab hold. So if you are watching for more 2D6, Caer Nathalis, or more D100 Dungeon, stay tuned. It's coming. Let me get 100% recovered. Right now, I'd say I'm at 70%. Let me get recovered where I can come down here and shoot some video and roll some dice and move some minis and play some games without getting tired or getting, like feeling pain and stuff like that. So I'm getting there. The last few things I want to cover with you. This one's just one that it just came in the mail today. So it's on my mind. I've already read the rule book. I got the PDF. I was so impressed with the PDF that I went ahead and bought the rule book to support the author, because I think it's just an incredible little game. So simple. The rules are simple. The miniatures are simple, one per player. It's a two-player game, but the game is called Bangarang in the Gutterlands. It is a robot versus robot. I'll call it a skirmish war game, but can you really call it a skirmish war game when it's one player versus one player? I guess you can, and everybody has just one miniature. The book tells you how to make the robots that you'll be battling. It tells you it's a very simple little rule set. The terrain is very simple. It uses this concept of like 1 block height, 2 blocks height for climbing, falling, and things like that. But I will put links to some videos of the creator where he makes his robots and where he also plays some games of this. It is absolutely great. When I first saw the video, I'm always looking for war games that I can play at conventions that are real easy rules, real fast to set up. You can play a quick game. If somebody wants to join in or stumbles upon it, they're not going to be lost because the rules are so simple. And this is one of those games that I believe I will be taking to Mythicon in November to demo or play with other players because it's just awesome. Just a very, very cool game. All right. So that's all I got for today. I didn't want to keep this too long. I'm going to try to keep it under 20 minutes. So yeah, I had some surgery to summarize, had some surgery out for like the last 2 weeks in pain. Then I had surgery and then I've had about a week of recovery. I still need another week. The doc says, it's just your body. I mean, I'm getting older. It just takes longer to recover. But I didn't want to just disappear from the face of the planet. But unfortunately, I just wasn't able to shoot any videos. And so I had a lot of people asking me where I was, what's going on. Are there more videos coming? Yes, to all of that. There's more videos. And just thanks for hanging with me. Life, I'm a one person channel. I'm a one person shop. So sometimes when I'd have to take a break, it's either for a mental break, a physical break, or sometimes I just need a break, whatever. But the channel is not going anywhere. More games to come, more games that you want to see based on your feedback. So just bear with me. I'm getting videos shot slowly but surely while I'm recovering. And hopefully in the next week or two, I'm going to be able to start putting them out again in a more regular basis. All right. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below. I will be back. If you like these live streams, maybe I'll do one of these a week, maybe one every other week, catch you up on where I'm at and what I'm doing. Earlier, the 3D printer was going crazy, but I paused it so that I could shoot this video without it going back there. All right, that's all I got. This is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for being patient with me. Thanks for your understanding that sometimes, life happens and you just got to roll with it. Or in my case, go get surgery and then lay down with it and just deal with it. Videos are coming. Everybody, take care.